Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, I feel like I got a victory. Oh my goodness. Did you see yesterday when I was going through my bin for Tackle It Tuesday? We're working on this one right now. We went through a couple of projects. I could see some other ones. I'm like, I can't do it. No. So on that one, I just go through like 2 or 3 of whatever I find, and that's enough. That's enough. But what I found is this lace thing. Yeah, it's really pretty. And I was like, what is the pattern? Because, I don't have the pattern listed in these things. It's just stuff that's been there forever, and the colors are gorgeous, my colors. And I'm like, I remember it, and I used the colors pretty much what the pattern showed. And I remember seeing it on Ravelry, and I made it. I started this at a yarn store here in Colorado that has been out of business, moved on and everything. 5+ years ago, more than that. Yeah, a lot more. And I remember working on it. It's size 7 needles, right? Lace yarn. It's pretty, and it's on the bias. And I'm looking through Ravelry. So I feel victory because I found the pattern. I could not find it, couldn't remember the name. I thought that it was on nitty.com. I thought it was a free pattern. It's not a free pattern, but I thought it was a free pattern on nitty.com. So I am looking through back issues, and nitty.com has a bunch of free patterns. Back years and years ago, Stephen West first started kind of putting patterns, for free patterns, on nitty.com. It's an e-commerce magazine, free magazine. And it was really fun to scroll through there and seeing some of Stephen West's younger patterns and everything. And he definitely had a different look back then. So I was looking through all that, went through all of the nitty things, going, nope, it's not there. I'm looking at lace things because this is lace. But just because this is lace doesn't mean the pattern was lace, because I'm weird that way. So I went lace and fingering. I knew, and I'm like, I know it's these colors. So then I did, I'm very tenacious. If you did not know, I am very tenacious. So then I went through Ravelry, and I'm looking through lace scarves. Popular lace scarves, this, that, ding, 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 ding. Got it. It's a Churchmouse pattern, very popular. It is bias before and after. And I'm going to show you the picture, and you will see what I mean by I picked the colors. This is the bias before and after scarf by Churchmouse Yarns and Tees. And look at that. Okay, yeah, did I not pick the colors? So you got the double shawl there. So that gets me really, really excited. And look at this. This is what I was talking about, where the edge is just that beaded edge like that. And I don't have the beads. I did at one point. I might have, I'm not sure where my beads are. I do have some seed beads and some little beads like that somewhere around here. I think they're in a little container over here. I'm not positive. I might look through that tonight. If not, if I've got enough energy after work tomorrow, we know how that goes, right? Some days I am so energetic when I get off from work. Other days I'm like, I need a nap. I just need a nap. So if I am like all kinds of energetic and traffic's okay, you know how that goes. I'm gonna stop off at Joann's because I need an excuse to stop off at Joann's. No, I don't. I don't need an excuse. So I'll stop, for the science, right? I'll stop because I need to finish this, and it needs beads. It needs to be weighted, and it just needs to be bound off. We've discovered that. It just needs to be bound off. That is it. That's all. And this is gorgeous. And it's look, and I don't do that very often, by the way. This is the colors. I did the colors. I don't know if you do that very often, where it's kind of, in my world, it's like ring the bell, ding, 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 when I pick a pattern and I use the yarn, and even more so if it's the color, right? But I mean, even just using the yarn they recommend. See, patterns recommend a yarn because they want to sell their yarn, and I get that, and I have no problems with that. Or designers will make something with a beautiful yarn because, hello, it's beautiful, and I have no problems with that. But I don't always have access to that yarn. And even if I do have access to that yarn, maybe I just don't want to spend that much money, right? We know how that goes. I mean, come on, we it's choices in life. But on this one, I chose. So when I felt this yarn and everything, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's very, very pretty and it feels amazing. Yeah, now I know what it is. It's the Classic Elite Yarns Silky Alpaca Lace. And I'm telling you, it is dreamy. And what does this say that it had in it? It says, well, it's a discontinued yarn. Go figure. I mean, like I said, I started this years ago. It's a lace weight, 440 yards for the 50-gram ball. It's 70% alpaca, 30% silk. It is a plied yarn, and it is stunning. It is stunning. So it was last updated. The page on Ravelry was last updated in 2018. It was created in 2008. So, you know, that particular yarn, that's just showing you some of the yarns that's what I'm using. It is. That is what I'm using. This is so exciting. It's like a little treasure hunt. I found it. I won. It was not letting me go. I am not going to lie. It was going to my brain. I could see this picture. I could see that. I could see that shawl on her. I could see those scarves wrapped around her. It was here. I couldn't spit it out. I wanted to. I'll go back and link yesterday's video to this too. But I'll put it on this one too because it's here. But yeah, that is so cool. And then, all right, we've got pictures. I love pictures. So here's for the blocking. Remember we said it's on the bias. So it is that triangle-y thing. Yeah, bias, angled. Yeah, that thing. So what you do for blocking purposes, let me pick out the one that's less tangled. Good luck on that. All right. And for blocking. Okay, I didn't do a good job yesterday when I put it away. I think you saw it. I just shoved it in the bag and poked holes in the bag. Not on purpose, but that's what I did. So when you're pinning it, you fold this in half. You fold the whole thing in half because it's really long, right? It's long. You knit until you're like just about out of yarn, just enough to do the bind off. You binding off on this side with the live needles with the beads. Gotta get beads. And then you come back on this side and you take it off that provisional cast on and you bind off with beads. And that's the part that was so daunting to me. Looking at that picture, I think I can do it. I think I can. I don't see why not. I mean, I'm smart and talented. I found the pattern, right? I'm tenacious. I could do this. So I'm going to get some beads and I'm going to try to do that. And then for blocking, let me see. Oh, this is so exciting. I am just thrilled. See, this is the same thing. It is the same yarn. How cool is that? Let me throw the picture back up there. Oh, no, come back, picture. Come back. Come back, come back. It is the same thing. And you can see with what I wear, not the pinks again today, but look at that. That is it. And you can see all the gorgeousness, how because it's on the bias, it's just going at the angle. Oh my gosh. And it's so stunning. So we fold it in half on our blocking boards and stretch the ever-dickings out of it, right? Stretch the ever-loving stuff out of it. And when you've got it on the ends, you've got your 2 points going in the opposite directions. That's what the picture was showing. You pin that down. There you go. Gorgeous. Okay, this is exciting. This is so exciting. I'm gonna have a project. I gotta get more. I have to get beads. I have to get beads. Did I make these the same size? Did we measure that? Do I care at this point? No. You know, because it looks like I am out of, yeah, I'm out of this one. I just have a tangled up knot. When I say I tangled it, I mean I tangled it. So that's what I have. That's enough to bind off on both sides. Just that I'll untangle the knot. It'll be fine. It'd be fine. It's okay. So I'll untangle the knot. So that's all I have of that. I have a lot more of this. Oh my gosh, that is such a gorgeous color. For those of you who thought that I fell in love with this color recently, you would be wrong. Obviously, I've been liking this color for a lot of years. When did this pattern come out? This pattern came out first published in 2011. So when I say I have long-standing decade-old whips, this qualifies. This is in that decade category. We don't normally count them after a decade, okay? We're not getting that nitpicky. It's over a decade. We're not nitpicking that much. It needs to be finished. So for everybody in my comments that you're like, I don't have any whips, congratulations. I think that's absolutely amazing. If you're only working on 2 or 3 projects at a time, if that many, and you start and you finish, more power to you. I think that's fabulous. that would probably drive me nuts. My whip collection would probably drive you absolutely batty. And I don't recommend it for anyone else, but it works for me. And that's what I was getting at when I comment on different whips and projects and everything. You know, I don't count them. I've had somebody ask me a while back, how many whips do you have? I would normally just tell you 2 or 3 at a time. And if I'm actively working on more than that, I might say 5 or 6. But that's about it. And you're like, but lady, I just saw you pull all of this stuff out and show us things like this. Yeah, I don't count this. I don't count this. You're like, why don't you count it? Am I actively working on it? It's been a decade. There's no actively working on this. So whip is work in progress. There's no progress. There is no working. This has been in a bin. It's been hidden. It doesn't count. I only count the things that I'm actually working on. And the other stuff, as you can see, shoved away in a bin or whatever, it has the possibility of getting finished. It really does. It could get finished. It could happen. And it also has the possibility of being ripped out. And we've seen that recently where I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to work on it. I pulled out a lace shawl with the skull heads on it and everything, and I made at least 7 of those back in the day. Gorgeous, all sorts of weights of yarn, but I'm not into it anymore, so I ripped it out. And some fingerless mitts. The stitching was perfect, wonderful, but I could tell because I remembered I was using size 5s. So I'm like, I'm not going to get that gauge on that again. So just rip it out. If I want to make them, make both of them again. Not a problem. You know, so I ripped out a couple projects, finished a couple projects. See, if you don't rip them out, there's a chance you'll get them done. I'm going to get this done. I didn't rip it out. It's 10 years old. We're not counting past 10, by the way. It's 10 years old, and it's going to get done. This is going to get done. It's going to happen. So that is exciting. I guess kind of another way to look at it is just don't give up. Just don't give up. If you're beating yourself up about a project or something along that line, give yourself that grace that you can do it. Who cares if this person does a project a week and it takes you 3 or 4 months to get a project done, or in my case, a decade, whatever. It doesn't matter. You work at your own pace and it's your enjoyment. If you're working on your projects and it's not a paid job, because some people do make projects and products and they sell them at craft fairs and markets and Etsy and what have you, that is a paid position. I'm not doing that. So it is not a paid job. I'm not relying on if I don't get this thing done, I'm not getting a paycheck. So it is my fun and enjoyment. And if I get 10 things done in a month, it's no better than if I get 1 or 2 things done, because for me, it's the enjoyment in the process of working on it. And I just like knitting and crocheting. And do I like to get things done? Yeah, I do. Do I like to wear some of the things I make? Yeah, I'm getting better because we just get better over time. So I do like that type of stuff. But if I don't get something done at blah, blah, blah time, I'm not going to go cry in a hole over it because I just didn't do something. You know, it's all about the enjoyment and the fun and kind of not comparing yourself to others, because let you in on a secret, we all do it to an extent, and it doesn't matter how good you are. That person does this. It doesn't matter how fast you are. Yes, but they did that. You know, I work through a lot of yarn, but I also watch a lot of YouTubers who make my yarn that I work through look like child's play. I mean, I don't know how they go through so much yarn, and I don't. And I think it's amazing. And they just whip things out. I'm like, holy cow, how do you do that? I think I'm fast. And, you know, you got to not compare yourself to others. And more power to them. And I know people looked at some of the things that I do and go, wow, you're really fast. On some things, yeah, I am. But my mom taught me idle hands are the devil's plaything. So I don't generally just sit and watch TV, if you know what I mean. You know, hands have to be busy. That's how that works. Mom taught well. So I'm always working on stuff. If I'm sitting down, I'm always working on stuff. It makes me happy. You know, and then going through this and finding this, oh my gosh, doing this, finding that pattern. You would have thought when I'm like saying Eureka and I'm all excited, you would have thought I won the lottery. because I knew what it was. I knew it. It's like, where did it go? It's hiding. It's hiding. And then going through the different search terms, going, okay, what do I remember? All right, filter, filter, filter. How many pages? 400 pages, too many pages. Filter, 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 right? And doing that and whittling it down and finding it, that is amazing. I think as we go through more of the tackle it projects, there is another shawl I do not know the name of. And I did that whole exercise. And when I started it, again, it's at least a decade ago. When I started it, it was quite popular. And it was on the front of, Ravelry and everything. It was very, very popular. And it was, when I find it, again, I'm going to ask for help. But the center of it started off as a diamond. And then you worked one leg of it, if you want to call it that, one wing. And then you came back and you worked the other side. Well, I've got one side quite a ways worked, and I'd love to finish it. No clue the pattern name. Absolutely no clue. I have the yarn. I haven't pulled it out because until you pull it out, there's a possibility it can get done, right? There is a possibility. So I'm not sure which bin that's in, but when I find that, I will definitely ask for help on that one, because I did all the searches I could think of and I could not find it. So that's part of the reason why I'm so happy and I'm so tickled that I found this Churchmouse pattern. Now, of course, if I remembered it was Churchmouse, it would have been easier, right? Like, oh yeah, let me look up all the Churchmouse things. That's it. But I didn't remember that. I thought it was maybe on nitty.com, right? So, I'm searching all sorts of things. And even that is a very good narrowing down. So just have a blast with what you do. Enjoy the things that you're making and take pride and pleasure, or pride's not the right word, but take pleasure in the little things. Like finding that pattern, to me, I'm giddy. I am absolutely giddy. I know where to go now. Before I think, remember it's got beads on the end, it's weighted down, but just seeing the picture on how it's blocked, eureka, I've got it. Seeing that with the beads on there, I've got it. That's not an issue. They've got the crochet needle next to it. Yeah, you're putting the beads on with crochet needle, kind of crocheting off. So I've got lots of different options on how I want to do that. I can follow the pattern, but I've got lots of options now. And my brain is just spinning. It's like, oh, we can do this. So wish me luck on stopping at Joann's again, because, it's not, they might not be around much longer. That's all there is to it. It just might, the news is not looking good. And yeah, I should probably stop in at mine and everything and pick up some beads. I think that would be wise. Maybe I'll look to see if I've got any, because pretty sure I had some, but it's been a lot of years. It's been a lot of years. Where'd they go? We've moved since then. It's been some time. So yeah, that's the fun part of all of this whole crafting journey, finding things, creating things, falling in love with things again, right? Isn't that what this is? And I've seen some of the comments down below where some of you have done that too. You're kind of going through some things. Maybe your collection isn't as large of abandoned projects as mine is. It's like, I don't know what I did a decade ago. Evidently, I started a lot of stuff and put it in bags. I'm just saying. I'm like, somewhere around 10 plus years ago, a lot of things got started and just kind of pushed off and neglected. And, I guess that's putting my money where my mouth is, and we're going back and we're investigating. We're going to investigate and save some of the things that we can save. And I tell you what, having that wrapped around my neck yesterday was amazing. It just looked fabulous. And then I saw it on the video, it's like, oh, that's really nice. That's so classy. That is so elegant. And then once I get it blocked, be still my heart. That is going to be like one of those really bougie, expensive, fancy shawls, scarves things. You know what I'm getting at. One that you can get in a boutique. That's what it's going to be, at least in my world. I'm going to feel fancy. I think wearing that scarf, and if I get a cup of coffee or tea or whatever, I'm going to have to drink it with my pinky up like this, because it'll demand it. I'm just saying, it will demand it. It's like, it'd be like an automatic muscle movement. It's like you have a cup of coffee and everything in your hands. It's going to go instant. It's going to have to. Do I have a cup right here? No, I took my cup away. But I'm like, it's going to go like that, because I'm going to feel so fancy. Kind of like when I go to the coffee shop, which is right next to Joann, And I would do that, and I'd get a cup of coffee, and then I'd walk through Joann, and I'd kind of like the same thing, because I'm all bougie, all that and everything, with my cup of coffee, walking through Joann and everything, and buying my yarn. It's kind of fun. So I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that, right? That's a special treat. That's that type of a thing. And I think wearing that shawl, I'm gonna feel fancy. I know. I'm gonna feel. It doesn't matter what kind of shoes. I'm gonna hear in my head. I'm gonna hear the high heel clicking. There were, as a child, there's like nothing better for a little girl than hearing that. I remember the clicking of high heels as an adult. That was just adult. Remember, you wanted to try on the high heels and everything as a little kid, and just get that sound. It's kind of like the same thing. So I think wearing that scarf, even if I'm in tennis shoes, in my mind, I'm going to hear the high heel clicking, and the finger's going to go up, and I think I'm going to not be able to look down. It's just be like this the whole time. I'm not going to be able to look down. It just, that's going to just elevate my feelings and stuff. I don't think I can be unhappy wearing that. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. I think it's just going to be, yes. Whether people ask me or not, I'm going to just have that dialogue in my head. I made this. This is mine. I'm elegant. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think that's pretty much where that's going to go. And now I have to finish it because, yeah, I've got stories. The stories are already churning. I've got dialogues and everything going on in my head right now. Yep, it's going to happen. Yep, I have to finish the scarf now. It's going to happen. So that's going to be another thing that gets finished. It's going to happen. It has to. It's the rules. It's the rules. It has a storyline. When things have a storyline, they get more attention, because then you're in the story and you're part of the dialogue and everything, and you change the scene to scene. Yeah. Yep. Am I the only one that does that? There's got to be somebody else that does that. It's not just me. There's got to be somebody else on here. Don't leave me hanging. Tell me down below. You got to tell me. I mean, I can't be the only one that does that. Or am I just the only one that shares and admits it? Maybe that's it. I'm not really sure. Now I'm kind of doubting. No, I'm not going to doubt. I'm happy. I'm fancy. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to wear my scarf. And it's just going to be really, really cool. We're all going to look forward to it. Maybe I'll get my daughter to take pictures. Oh, we got to get her back. She's a lot of fun. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, because right now my mind is turning fast. I think you can tell, right? You can see it. Woo! All the little brains, all the little gears are going. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. Come back again. Come back. If you're not liked and subscribed, please do that, because I'm here all the time talking about yarn and stuff, because it makes me happy. All right, everybody. With that, I'm letting you go. I really, really am. It's going to happen. I'm going to hang up now. Old phones hang up, right? You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.